live pictures of Nashville. First Lady Joe Biden just arrived for a candlelight vigil. If history holds, she will echo her husband and talk about guns and the need for more gun control. She will also likely note that firearms now kill more kids than anything else. About that, she is correct. But if we want to protect kids from guns, and we should, there is no higher calling than protecting our children, and thus save their lives. School shootings and preventing school shootings is not the place to start. An Associated Press analysis showed from Columbine to Nashville, mass school shootings killed 175 kids. That's 175 sets of parents with a hole the size of Texas in their heart. It can never heal. That's an average of 7 kids per year, far, far too many. But in 2021, just 1 year, in just 9 cities for which we have reliable data, guns were used to kill 465 kids. None of those were school shootings. Most come back to gang violence in North St. Louis, the south side of Chicago, barrios of Phoenix, and the mean streets of Philadelphia. In just 9 cities during 2021, roughly 66 times the number of kids died in gun violence that year versus the average number of kids killed at school. 66 times. But you never hear about those stories on the news because the laws to prevent their murders are not politically convenient. Kids like Jarvis Watts, 9 years old. Someone killed him with a gun in Chicago earlier this year. Tiana Major, also 9. Someone with a gun killed her in Orlando. Arlene Alvarez, also 9. Someone with a gun killed her in Houston. Their parents have that same hole in their heart, that same pain that will never heal. But the First Lady doesn't show up to their candlelight vigils. There's no rallies or wall-to-wall news coverage of their deaths. Their families grieve in private. There's no GoFundMe pages. Protecting kids on the streets of Chicago, Orlando, Houston, and St. Louis means enforcing gun laws that we already have. It means locking up gangbangers for felon in possession of a firearm, and that doesn't play very well on MSNBC. That doesn't get you sound bites from the Senate floor, or it's not really that good for campaign ads when you make those speeches. We, of course, picked those 3 kids because they're the same age as the kids killed with a gun in Nashville. Their parents, of course, are grieving as well. Evelyn Dickhouse, Hallie Scruggs, William Kinney. They're all 9, too. The lives of every child are worth protecting. And, of course, kids should be safe from gun violence in school, but out of school as well. And the data clearly shows if we want to save kids from gun violence, school shootings in upper-middle-class neighborhoods with assault rifles are not the place to start. It's simply not where the most kids die. Yet, that's where the First Lady is tonight. And all over TV now, the debate rages about banning assault rifles. There's no discussion of the murders on the north side of St. Louis or the south side of Chicago. Very simply, that is a much more uncomfortable discussion. And speaking of St. Louis, the state attorney general wants the circuit attorney there, Kim Gardner, removed because she refuses to prosecute gun crimes there. Last night, Kim Gardner held a rally to plead her case.
What they did was make it worse, because guess what? This black woman here is gonna fight. I want to invest in people and to address the root causes of the problem. We can all talk about what the #1 cause of crime is, and that's poverty. We know that. We have more police than most major cities, and that's still not enough.
Yet we hear over and over and over again, the #1 thing that kills kids is guns. The way to stop gun crime is to prosecute the people with guns. So now we bring it all together. Kim Gardner is literally on the front lines of the fight to keep kids from getting murdered with guns. Yet she refuses to enforce existing laws to do just that. And the national media gives her a pass today and every other day. 18 kids died in her city in 2021. Nobody fights for them. Nobody talks about them. 18 kids, that's 18 families in St. Louis whose kids didn't need to die. On the flip side, 3 kids die in Nashville, and every Republican senator must now answer about why they don't want to ban assault rifles, something that if it worked perfectly, would barely touch the problem. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.